Hello and welcome to Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online. My name is Kelly and I'm a former wedding planner and blogger, and I'm obsessed with weddings. If you're planning a wedding in Ireland, you're in the right place. You're going to learn the tried and tested methods to planning your dream wedding without the added stress. Think of this as your one-stop shop for everything to do with planning your wedding in Ireland, with me, your new wedding planning bestie, and a cup of tea. This is Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online. If you are a sustainability conscious couple looking to limit your carbon footprint and to incorporate some eco-friendly practices into your wedding while partnering with wedding suppliers who have ethics at the heart of what they do, then you're in the right place, because today we're talking all about eco-friendly weddings, keeping things sustainable, and bonus, we have got 3 amazing wedding suppliers who are in Ireland, and I've asked them to share a little bit about how they have incorporated some eco-friendly practices into their wedding business to give you some ideas of what is possible. So, why don't we get started right away? I'm going to begin with some top tips if you are looking to plan an eco-friendly wedding. Firstly, choose local. So you'll know that if you're choosing local things, you'll reduce your carbon footprint because there'll be less traveling as people are delivering things to you. So local for you might mean, having locally sourced flowers instead of having things imported from another country. It might mean booking a wedding venue that's near your home, so you and your guests and suppliers aren't driving far away to get to the venue. There's so many things that you can do to choose local. Something that I love about it is that in addition to, reducing your carbon footprint, you're also supporting the local hardworking businesses in your area. And there's something so special about that. Instead of hiring people from all over the place and having them travel, you're choosing local. And I think that's really, really special. Another thing you can do is you can be thoughtful with your food and drinks. Think about things like the ingredients. Are they organic or are they harmful to the environment? How about things that are super practical, like what happens to leftover food? If you've got questions about these types of things, have a conversation with your caterer. If the catering is done by your wedding venue, talk to your wedding venue coordinator when you have your original site visits before making decisions. Because if these things are important to you, it's really, really helpful if you ask the questions, and then you'll know exactly what's happening with the food, with the ingredients, with the leftovers. How about this? Sustainable decor. We'll hear a little bit more about this type of thing when our suppliers speak with us. But you could do things like renting instead of buying. You can go paper-free as much as you possibly can. And what about things like not giving your guests things that are going to end up in the bin? So for things like wedding favors, instead of just some kind of token thing with your name on it, how about donating money to charity in lieu of a wedding favor instead? So many couples are doing that for so many different reasons. But one of the benefits is that it's eco-friendly because you don't have tokens and things that end up in the bin just causing a whole lot of nonsense. How about eco-friendly confetti? Things like birdseed, dried flowers, leaf cutouts, fresh petals or fresh herbs. So many amazing things you can do that don't involve throwing things around that are just going to be causing mess all over the place. And then another top tip for eco-friendly weddings is to reuse and recycle. Consider things you already have at home, things like vases, glasses, or like glass jars, things like bunting. So before you buy stuff, just think, do we have anything already that we can incorporate into the wedding that's already at home? Why not? Now, what I would love to do is to introduce you to 3 wedding suppliers who I have asked to share a little bit about how they use some eco-friendly practices within their wedding business. I've done this because I want to show you that it is possible. You can have a wedding that is sustainable, that supports, saving the environment. You can champion local suppliers who are doing the same thing, that have ethics at the heart of what they're doing. And I would love for you to know some of the very practical things that these suppliers have incorporated into their practices so that you can see what other people are doing. You can get some ideas for yourselves, and you can have a conversation with your suppliers about what they are doing to save the planet. So why don't we have a listen to these three? I've got 3 voice notes for you. And before we begin, I just want to let you know that there are suppliers all across the country that are just like you. They have saving the planet as a top focus for them. All you got to do is ask. For people who would consider this their main focus, you'll normally find it somewhere on their website or on social media. It'll be part of the conversation. But just because you haven't seen those things doesn't mean that they're not already doing some of these important things already. So just ask. But why don't we have a listen to the very first voice note? This is from Hazel of Coill Design. She is a wedding stationery designer. You've probably heard her voice on the podcast before. You definitely recognize her name. She's based in Wicklow, and she creates some really beautiful wedding stationery. And in addition to this being eco-friendly, the stationery is just really, really beautiful, and your guests will absolutely love it. But now you might be thinking, how can a stationery designer limit their carbon footprint? Because with stationery, there's inevitably paper involved. So I was really, really inspired by how Hazel explains some of the things that she does, and I think you'll be too. So why don't you have a listen? This is Hazel from Coill Design.
Hello, I'm Hazel from Coill Design Wedding Stationery. As a small business, I try my best to be as eco-friendly and sustainable as much as I possibly can by implementing the following methods. I only use recycled or recyclable paper and card, such as plantable or seeded paper or recycled card paper. My stationery is made sometimes with wildflower seeds embedded in them. So when the customer plant the card, it grows into flowers or herbs, promoting sustainability and reducing waste. I only use recyclable, biodegradable or compostable packaging as well, instead of plastic. For example, shredded paper and card from cut-offs of stationery and cardboard boxes. All of my literature, such as brochures and promotion, are done digitally and online, and proofs and samples are mostly sent by email instead of being printed to save on paper use. I also only use suppliers with sustainable or eco-friendly materials and values. My company is continuously striving to reduce our carbon footprint and are looking into more options, such as implementing a planted tree donation for charity for every sale of my invitations, as an incentive for people to choose a sustainable company to order their wedding stationery from. I'm hoping that every little step I take to create a more sustainable business will help the environment, even in a small way. Thank you.
So now hopefully you found that really, really inspiring. Just hearing from Hazel about what they're doing at Coill Design. There's some really, really practical things that just help you to see that there are suppliers out there who are sustainable and they are eco-conscious. So next, I want to introduce you to Joanna. She's going to tell you a little bit about her business, and again, super, super inspiring. So this business is all about flowers. So they're based in Kildare. They're a flower art studio, and they specialize in things like flower pressing, preserving, design, and framing. And their goal is to keep your memories in bloom while also putting in sustainability conscious practices. So have a listen because I think this is really cool.
Hi, my name is Joanna from SIÓG Botanicals. We are a flower preservation studio based in County Kildare that offer a nationwide service. Sustainability aligns with our studio's values and ethos. To us, it's about more than making beautiful art. It's about leaving a positive impact. So by prioritising sustainable practices, we're showing respect not only for the land that your wedding flowers were originally grown on, but also for our clients who are increasingly conscious of supporting businesses that reflect their own commitment to the environment. So some of the ways we do that are through the materials we use in our products and our packaging. So all artwork that we create is framed in solid wood frames and traditional glass, which have all been custom made to order in Ireland locally. Materials then we'd use in our packaging, so we'd keep it to that which is absolutely necessary, ensuring that every material we purchase to package our products is made from recycled materials or is biodegradable or suitable to be recycled again. So if bubble wrap is used, for example, we would only purchase or reuse that is already in circulation. Other things that we would do then is around maintenance and care. So we'd provide our clients with detailed instructions on how to care and maintain for their pressed flower art, helping to extend its life and its beauty. If clients would experience, say, accidental damage to their artwork or frame, we offer repair and touch-up services to restore the artwork, helping to minimise waste and ensure that each piece can be cherished for the long term. So yeah, it's really around, I think, sustainable sourcing of the materials we use, the wood, the card, the paper, ensuring they're from responsibly managed forests, keeping packaging to that which is absolutely necessary. And yeah, I think through that's how, just some of the things that we have done to ensure sustainability in our business.
Well, next we're going to be hearing from a wedding venue. Something that I think is so interesting is that, there's so many different suppliers that have interesting ways of saving the planet. And if you're thinking, how on earth could a wedding venue possibly, how could they possibly do anything? Because venues take up so much space and they need, so many resources to be able to operate. Well, actually, there are plenty of wedding venues across the country that are doing some really practical things to save the planet. And so I had a chat with Joe from Rathsallagh House. They are a 17th century country house in Wicklow, and they have done a lot to be eco-friendly. And so I'm not going to summarize it for you. I want you to have a listen for yourself just to see what they're up to, because I'm really, really inspired by this.
Hi, I'm Joe O'Flynn, owner of Rathsallagh House in Dunlavin, West Wicklow. Ever since we started our business in 1985, we have strived to be sustainable and environmentally friendly. We've been producing our own eggs, vegetables and herbs long before it became fashionable. In the early 90s, we planted 150 acres of forestry on Rathsallagh as a capture and store programme for CO2. Today, we've one of the largest privately owned new oak plantations in Ireland. We have recently installed an eco-friendly wetlands wastewater treatment plant. The ponds are now supporting a vast array of aquatic plants, insects and other wildlife. Over the last number of years, we've switched out all of our bulbs for LED. And this year, we installed a 150 kVA land-based solar power generation plant. These solar panels produce enough energy to power our hospitality business and our free EV chargers during the day. When the sun is out, we even have enough power left to export it to the national grid. Combined, our efforts in sustainability ensure that weddings, events and conferences here at Rathsallagh are environmentally friendly and carbon neutral.
Now, isn't that inspiring? All three of the suppliers that we've had on the episode today, I'm going to share links to where you can find out more about them. So if you look at the notes for this episode, or if you go onto weddingsonline.ie and you look in our blog section, we do have a written version of each of the podcast episodes. And for this week's written one, I will also have links in there. But I'm just so inspired to hear that there are suppliers across the country that are doing their part for the environment. They've got ethics at the heart of what they do. And if you have ethics at the heart of what you do, what better way to have an eco-friendly, sustainability conscious wedding than to partner with suppliers who match your values as well? Well, thank you for listening today. The Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online podcast is produced by me, Kelly, and mixed, mastered and edited by Glenn Hartman. For more wedding planning tips, advice, checklists and more, visit weddingsonline.ie.